Good morning, guys. I wanted to make a quick video today about water and the incredible properties and characteristics of water. So first of all, there is a water researcher named Dr. Masuru Emoto, a Japanese water researcher. And basically, he discovered that water has consciousness, okay? So water has been examined and studied after being treated with certain vibrations. So, for example, songs by Mozart in classical music were played next to a jar of water, and then that water was frozen, and then the patterns inside the water were examined. And here's what came out. So, the Mozart symphony looked like this. Next to that is the patterns that were naturally created by Imagine by John Lennon. Here are the patterns in water that are created when people said the word peace into a jar of water. Thank you. And then here are other phrases that were not so nice and what the water looked like that after someone said something like, I will kill you. Okay? So it's absolutely wild to think about how we can influence water. So if this is true, then that means that water has consciousness. Not only can it be a liquid, a gas, a solid, it has the capacity to attain memory from the vibrations it receives, right? And they were able to keep changing the state of the water, even if they had spoken something negative into it. Then if they would speak something positive with the same water, melt it, freeze it later, they found the same results. They also went to sacred sites around the world, places where a lot of prayer is said, like sacred places like Our Lady of Lourdes in France. And this is what that water looked like. Check that out on the top right. This beautiful crystallized geometric patterns, right? So, and right next to it, this is a lake in Japan that has a lot of pollution. It's called Lake Biwako in the center of Japan, where pollution is getting worse and worse and worse. And look at those patterns. This is why speaking to the body, beautiful words, is so important. The last thing, because we're so made of water. We're made of water. The last thing I want to show you is the rice experiments. Now, this is really, really wild, but what was done was there were 3 jars taken, okay? There's 2 here in this picture, but I'll show you the third one on the bottom. And basically, each jar was filled with rice, okay? And the first jar, the person, so they poured water in each jar with rice. They spoke words into each jar before closing it. So the first jar, they spoke, I love you. Close the jar. Second jar, they spoke, I hate you, or you fool. Different tests have been done. In the third jar, they spoke nothing at all. They completely ignored it. Close the jars, 30 days later, open them up, and this is what happens to each jar, and each jar is different. The jar where they spoke, I love you, started to ferment and had a natural sweet odor when opened, natural coloring of natural fermentation. The jar where they spoke, I hate you and you fool, totally blackened out. Then the jar where they spoke nothing at all and ignored it started to deteriorate, turn green, turn moldy. So let's just think about this for a minute. What do these results mean? It shows that Dr. Emoto showed that rice given love and gratitude stayed fresh longer and held more beauty. The rice that was called You Fool decayed quickly and fell apart. The rice that was ignored decayed even faster, showing that the absence of energy can be more destructive than negativity. So the result is the power of intention. Even unspoken, just thinking the word brings the same result. So here are some of those results. Ignored, you fool, love and gratitude. That's what the rice looked like afterward. So if you go on YouTube and look up the rice experiment, I mean, so many people did these experiments. It's just wild. And they got the same results. Now, if we look at musical notes on the piano, for example, those notes, when played next to water, also made patterns in the water. And when that water was tested, these are the shapes that came out. So for example, oh, it's flipping around, but this is like a D in music, D fifth. Then we have a C, or sorry, second C, C sharp, D sharp. These are all the patterns that music makes, okay? So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And I wanted to make a quick video about this. Water, another quote by Dr. Emoto, water is the mirror that has the ability to show us what we cannot see. It's a blueprint for our reality, which can change with a single positive thought. All it takes is faith if you're open to it. Water has a memory and carries within it our prayers and thoughts. As you yourself are water, no matter where you are, your prayers will be carried to the rest of the world. Yeah, so I feel that this is why sound instruments are so wonderful and healing and powerful and connected to the body, because they connect to the water in your body and make these beautiful patterns, releasing blocks and tension and tightness and carbon dioxide, allowing the water to flow freely so you don't feel pain, so you don't feel stress, tightness, and anxiety, so you're free, guys. This is why when people come to sound bath experiences, they completely melt, they fall asleep. Some of them cry and they break down because they feel their body is so light for the first time. It makes me want to cry thinking about it because this changed my life. I had a spinal surgery, you guys. It was a really challenging recovery, and I naturally was looking for natural ways to heal and not having to take Bayer and Advil and Tylenol and all of these pills and narcotics. Just hearing this, you feel something already. You feel something. This rings out a number of frequency hertz connected to safety, groundedness, passion, creativity. These are all emotions and feelings. And like I talked about in my last video, feelings and emotions are different frequency hertz ranges. And this was detected by EEG brainwave studies, where they could study the actual frequency hertz of an emotion. They instructed their patients to think of something that made them feel sad, something that made them feel fearful, and they measured where those frequency hertz are. And do you know how low those pitches were? They were like 15 hertz. That's so low that you can't even hear it in the human audible range. To give you an example, a kick drum or a bass drum, which is super, super low, it's like that, it's the one that drummers kick on the bottom. That's like 250 hertz. So, you know, and that's pretty low. So you can't even, fear is so low, you can't even like actually hear it in the human audible range. But then if I play for you the frequency of love, when people were instructed to feel love, this is what it sounded like. Because it was 714 hertz, the feeling of love. That's exactly what this bowl is, 714 hertz. In music, it's the note F. Does that feel like love to you or what? What if feeling good was this simple? What if? What if just listening to music was all it took? Could you accept it to be that simple? Could you accept that you didn't need pills, that you didn't need other things to substitute? What if nature and music was able to recalibrate and change the physiology of the body through the water, allowing your cells to be recharged, to function fully, the water to be refreshed? I love you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I encourage you to check out Dr. Emoto's work. It's incredible. There's a documentary out also about the incredible characteristics of water. I will get the name for it and list it below. It's amazing. I hope you guys will also check out the reviews and testimonials that people have been writing about working with me and my instruments and how they felt afterward, how it's allowed them to feel lighter, more peace, more feelings of calmness in the body and safety. Someone actually told me after just a 30-minute sound bath, she told me that it felt better than a massage. She said that her whole body felt completely freed of tension, and that she felt different. She felt like there was nothing left that she was longing to balance. So I'm learning more and more about the benefits that these instruments, that music can give others, because it's limitless. It really is. And it's such a privilege and a joy to be able to get to experience and share this with others. And I hope you guys will connect with me. And I'm sending you a lot of love. Go and listen to some music today. Bye.